Rams at Buccaneers.
Oh, boy. Yeah, boy.
All right, I'm going to go first.
Go ahead, because I don't know.
Because I think this will count.
No one's going to steal Leonard Fournette 4 touchdowns if you want to wait on that.
Just run it again. Run it back.
I mean, it's not that crazy if Leonard Fournette comes back. I'm going to say that the Rams are going to win the game outright.
All right. What's the spread? 3?
I picked the Rams too. My pick's already out. I agree with Brenton.
Is that bold enough, Breach?
I mean, if you're picking the underdog,
Tom Brady losing a playoff game to Matthew Stafford feels like
okay, fair enough.
All right, there we go.
Matthew Stafford
that was enough to convince Wilson.
That was.
Matthew Stafford has to do something though. He can't have like 8 interceptions and they still backdoor win, and that you get it. So you need to have.
Okay,
he has to at least be.
Matthew Stafford has.
It can be just slightly above replacement level. He can't go out there and lay a turd.
I will say that this game looks like it may move. There is no way they move it to 2.5, right? It's Rams are +3, plus minus 115.
I think it did open at 2.5.
Really? Maybe that's what the move is.
Why?
Because the Rams are going to win the game.
All right. Do you have any Matthew Stafford? Matthew Stafford kicker? Just has to be like
that's fine. That's fine.
Normal, not crazy.
It's a 3-point spread. Trying to think.
Like 220, as many touchdowns as interceptions. Like that, I'm fine with that. But he can't go out there and throw no touchdowns and 3 picks and they win and you win this bet.
Oh, okay. So I mean, I'll just say Matthew Stafford just plays a clean game. No interceptions.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that.
Interception-free Matthew Stafford game. Rams win.
Okay. All right. Breach, you want to go or do you want me to go?
By the way, I think that this game largely hinges on the health of 3 people.
Stafford, Whitworth, and who else?
That's 4 people. Sorry. Andrew Whitworth.
Yep.
Tristan Wirfs.
Ooh.
And Ryan Jensen, who we would assume all are healthy because Whitworth came back on Monday night, right?
He came back. Ryan Jensen came back, and
Tristan Wirfs came back for some ungodly reason. It was limping around.
25 seconds, got beaten, and came off again. I don't know.
He's just like dragging his leg down the field. If for any reason the Bucs are, as Breach pointed out before the break, the 49ers are a bad matchup for the Packers. The Rams are a bad matchup for the Bucs anyway. But they're a really bad matchup if the Buccaneers, if Ryan Jensen is hurt, I think the Rams could romp in this game because you're Aaron Donald is just going to be cut loose on, I don't even know what they would I'm trying to think who their backup center is, but
Ndamukong Suh.
If you're down 2 linemen, you're trying to block Aaron Donald and Von Miller, and Von Miller has gotten better every week in that defense. And Brady's trying to get off his
Raheem Morris revenge game.
Well, and then Brady's trying to get off his hot route passes to Mike Evans, who's covered by Jalen Ramsey.
It's really a bad matchup for the Bucs.
And then on top of that, the one on the flip side, you're thinking, maybe Todd Bowles will come up with something. Well, the one guy Todd Bowles can't figure out, Sean McVay. McVay's faced him twice, once in each of the past 2 seasons, and the Rams are averaging over 30 points per game against Todd Bowles' defense in these past 2 years. So
shut up, Breach.
I'm just saying that it's a bad matchup.
So here, it looks like Robert Hainsey, the rookie out of Notre Dame, who played guard and tackle at Notre Dame, I believe, is the backup center. He had a grand total of 31 snaps this season.
They could also, in theory, play Ali Marpet at center if they're really desperate. He's played center for them before. I don't think he snapped to Tom Brady at all, but just
then you got to move around. The talking point usually is you don't want to make 2 positions worse.
No, I don't think they want to do that. But just throw it out there.
My bold prediction is that Bruce Arians slaps Andrew Adams in the head twice in this game as opposed to just once. I thought it was sort of funny, but I guess
people are so soft in 2020.
The NFL frowns upon coaches hitting players.
He didn't hit him that hard, and he's like an old man limping around. I felt like he was the guy at the grocery store.
I thought it was like a happy slap.
I did too, but I guess Adams was on the pile pulling people off.
Adams was like, he was getting involved in a fight, and he thought he was going to draw a 15-yard penalty. And he's like, get the hell out of there. What are you doing? Come on.
He's an old guy at the grocery
store. He's wearing a helmet. Bruce Arians got a bare ass old hand.
He's 70 years old.
I bet he still hits hard though.
Yeah. I feel like I need to. Okay, here it is. Here it is, Breach. Odell Beckham has more receiving yards than Mike Evans. Is that bold?
Odell has more?
Yeah, because Odell hasn't done anything till last week, like the other day. That was his first time really.
Yeah,
doing
Monday night he looked like OBJ.
Right.
I
Is that bold? Is that bold enough?
Nada, give us a ruling in the chat. Is that bold enough? Or you can give us a ruling on air if you want.
He's producing the podcast with Debo.
It's bold, it's bold enough, he says. It's bold enough. All right.
Odell has more receiving yards than Mike Evans.
Okay.
And more touchdown passes should have come down to it.
That was a pretty good throw to Cam Akers in the game.
And
it's a great throw.
Bold prediction is that these two teams combine to break the NFC divisional round record for most total yards by both teams.
Breach is trying to go 0-4 in the divisional round with these.
No, Breach is. I mean, either that acid is kicking in really good, or Breach. You're going to need to give us the number.
This is a surprisingly low number. The number is 762. What you think?
Nothing.
But it is held up for 23 years. It was set in 1999. So
that's a lot of yards.
I think that. But when these two teams met in week 3 of this season, they totaled 853. But again, it's January. They know each other a little bit better now. But yeah, 762 is a record of set by the Rams of all teams. Greatest show on turf.
Yeah. Against the against the Eagles?
Vikings.
The divisional round, not NFC.
No, yeah, not the playoff record, just the divisional round record. NFC divisional round record.
Well, I also think that, when you look at these teams, they are both stronger against the run than they are against the pass. Now, Jalen Ramsey, obviously an elite cornerback, and we'll see if the Rams get their safeties back. They played great against Kyler, don't get me wrong. But
imagine rolling a guy out there that hadn't played in 2 years, been playing pickup basketball, and you play the way you do as a Cardinals offense.
I'm just saying, both these teams have. This is a good prediction by Breach, because it's a very the way he framed it, break the all-time record that's held up for 23 years. It's a lower number than you would think. Yeah. Both teams have good offensive lines, tons of weapons in the pass game, even with Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown missing. You got Gronk and Mike Evans, obviously, and Evans, Jalen Ramsey hasn't shadowed people either. So that'll be interesting to see how they move Evans around to get him off of Ramsey. Is Ramsey going to be doing work against Tyler Johnson? Because that's that matchup between Byron Leftwich and Raheem Morris is a very interesting matchup. Particularly, you figure both guys are head coaching candidates. Raheem Morris on Tuesday, Peter Schrager of NFL Media reported will interview with the Vikings. That's his first interview. I think Raheem Morris is a good second attempt head coach hire.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving Josh McDaniels another job, this guy got hired when he was 22 years old. It felt like
he was in his 30s when he coached the Bucs. Yeah. He was younger than most of the players on the Bucs, I think, and they had a really young team. That group partied like crazy. Tampa's not exactly a tame city, if you know what I'm saying. And he was stuck with Josh Johnson. Freeman. Excuse me, Josh Freeman.
I was gonna say Josh Johnson's actually somehow still around playing pretty well. All right, what's